We already have our Zoom guest who just joined us now. Let's just welcome Dr. Paul Alaje, is Chief Economist and Partner CPM Professionals. Dr. Alaje, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you so very much for having me. A beautiful morning to you and the guests in the studio.
All right, Dr. Alaje, I believe that you've been listening to the conversation so far. It's on the CBN NPC committee report that we are talking about. And we just want, what's your take on the latest report?
Thank you so very much. I think the Central Bank, indeed, Monetary Policy Committee have maintained stance on combating inflation. When you look at the decision was to hold. The most significant one for me is the asymmetric corridor, which we actually use to trace if central bank have a decision on money supply. Clearly, money supply has gone beyond what the central bank wants to accommodate for a while, and that is why from the Mr. Yemi Cardoso's administration as the head of central bank, we have seen the interest rate jacked up from 14% now to 27.50%, CRR at 50% for DNBs, that's commercial banks, and 16% for merchant banks. We have also seen liquidity ratio increase sporadically to 30%. The asymmetric corridor is plus 500 and minus 100, which of course has implication on activity around the commercial bank. Here is it. The decision that was made yesterday was premised on a few things. Very carefully. In fact, I was on a national TV station when that program was going on. And first of all, I must say that at times like this, if central bank have done otherwise, I would have been. So again, because we have changed we have rebased our inflation. First of all, if you rebase your inflation in economics, then it becomes a bit of challenge for you to really determine the true state of inflation. Not number and is now making everybody compare apples and banana. In 2024, the base year we use, the reference year we use, and also the methodology we use for inflation is different from the one we are using now as 2025, as I think around February or March. The methodology changed. Now, because methodology changed, we cannot compare head to head. And for me, that's one reason why I think Monetary Policy Committee needs to take a stand to hold. Apart from other economic parameters, we saw what happened in America with pausing trade relation, implementation of new trade tariff. We have seen in recent time, America and China have taken some other similar decision. So to me, I think sitting on the fence, which people may think is nothing, but to us, that decision is something that is very significant because there are three possible decisions. That decision to hold is very significant because of so many uncertainties. If we also check what IMF is saying about Nigeria, where cut Nigeria expected growth rate to 3% for 2025, for 2026, even further cut it to 2.7%. And I particularly noted that the central bank governor also mentioned it in his report that Nigeria will now need to watch what is happening both at external and domestic environment and see how we can respond to possible any form of shock that may come to our economy, which I think is very significant and very important that we do at this time. So when I looked at the number, clearly what I saw was that we have decided to hold because of some uncertainty in the domestic arena. In fact, in econometrics, when you start seeing numbers like this coming up, because we just adjusted our number, most of the time we post such number as outlier because we cannot say inflation reduced. Because if you listen to the report yesterday, the communique yesterday when the central bank governor read it, he didn't say inflation reduced from 34% to 24%. In fact, we are seeing signs of reduction because when inflation was adjusted from 34 to 24, what we saw was that the following month, it went to 23, it went back up to 24, it's back in 23. So it is difficult for us to actually tell what is to be done. So that's what I would say as introduction regarding the decision that was taken yesterday. But whether the rate we are now is high or not, because If you check, most countries in the world have started cutting rates. I've seen Asian countries cutting rates. Donald Trump is saying that the Fed, that's the central bank in America, to also cut rates. How does this affect us? For us, as rightly mentioned by your guest in the studio, because of confidence that we have started building again, and our currency is building, foreign investors have started coming. Most of these investors are portfolio investors. If we suddenly or abruptly cut rates, what will happen is that some of those investors will go, and you know that there are people investing around the world. They have options. It mustn't be in Nigeria. Even if we don't cut rates, if America increase rates, it's also a risk to us. And this is why I think that, yes, maybe when time comes, we can now look at the implication on the real sector in Nigeria and on Nigerian population as a people.
All right, Dr. Alaje, thank you.